All right. I'm going to go 365 days with no porn, masturbation, orgasm. That includes sex, which could be difficult if I find a beautiful inside and out woman that I start dating. That could be difficult. It's going to be difficult whether that happens or not. And honestly, the chance of that happening is somewhat low, especially in the first half of this journey. I think it's going to take a lot more than 90 days to significantly heal my brain, but we'll see. You know, I made it 45 days in the past. That was the farthest I've ever got at this challenge. And if I fail, 365 days. I'm on day 2 right now. And if I fail, so before what is today? May 10th. So, you know, before May 8th of 2027, we're May 10th, 2026 right now. If I fail to do any of those things, then I'm going to give my car, sign over the title to my parents, and I'm going to take all of the money that I have in my checking account and any brokerages, and give that to my parents as well. I have a significant amount of debt to the government from student loans, and I have some personal debt, and part of that is I owe my parents money, even though I'm a bit pissed that they did it this way. Rightfully so, I think. But they loaned me money for college. They marked me as dependent for college, even though I wasn't living with them, except I would go back for breaks and summer, to be fair. But they marked me as dependent, so I didn't get the, the Pell Grant, like most of my friends. And so I had to take out loans from the government, like about 35, 40 grand, and then I took a $25,000 loan from my parents. So I owe them that. So this would be, they said, you know, don't pay that back until you pay everything else back, and my parents are getting older, and they kind of indicated like they don't really expect to be paid back because they don't think I would do that in time. Honestly, I wouldn't consider giving this, if I fail this challenge, if I give the car back and give all the money that I have to them, I'm not considering that paying back the loan. This is just the penalty of failing the challenge. And, like, I almost have too much confidence. I almost am saying, how could I lose? I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I know it's going to be tough. 365 days after my entire life since 11 years old, pretty much doing that, you know, 1 to 15 times a week or something. It's going to be tough, but like, this car is my home, and I don't mean just like it's where my heart is or some crap. No, I literally live in this car. It's a Tesla. It's a 2019 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, standard range. It's kind of the lowest of the low of Tesla, but it's still, you know, a car that I'm very happy with. And honestly, it's too comfortable. By the way, it has 95,000 miles, if you're curious. But I bought it used almost 3 years back. But it's comfortable. Living in my car, you guys might think like, oh, that sounds rough and whatever. And there were certain points, sure, some roughness, but mostly it's pretty dang comfortable. I could throw the camp mode on. I can run the heater or the AC all night to keep myself a nice temperature. It's a comfortable living for the most part for me. And it's too comfortable. And I'm very fortunate to be in this position. I'm just in a lucky position. I have to unplug this car. It's gonna start charging me idle fees. Hang on a sec. So, yeah, I gotten too comfortable, and I want to take more advantage of the situation I'm in, that I'm fortunate enough to be in, that I can have this car, and that I can work, and I have a remote job, and I can work anywhere and stuff. I want to take advantage of this, and I want to live my life to its fullest. I want to improve myself. I want to do a lot more than I've been doing, and I've started enough no fap challenges. I would call this semen retention. Is the main, probably most accurate description of what I'm doing. I've started it, and know that at the beginning I often feel excited and stoked, and then it gets hard, and then I fail, right? But I'm not gonna fail. How can I fail? I could fail. I could, want to have so much lust and whatever that I just be like, okay, I'll just give him my car and I'll start over. It'd be crazy for me. It's everything I have. I would be giving up everything I have to give in to lust and, watch porn or have sex. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna fail. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why didn't I think of this before? Make the constraints so difficult for myself. I have no choice but to succeed. And so I am gonna do this. If I fail, like I'm so serious. I'm not lying to myself. I'm not lying to you. I'm not BSing. I'm gonna do this. Like I guess I hate this word and hate to think of myself this way, but I would consider myself desperate. I do not want to live at 10 to 20% of my potential for the rest of my life, or whatever it is. I don't know what I'm at, but it's just so little. I just know I could do so much more. I could do so much more good for people, so much more good for myself. I could just be so much better. And laziness is a big part of this, and motivation. And I'm not saying that quitting all this is just going to solve everything for me. No. I see it as an essential puzzle piece that basically is going to clean up my mind and put my mind in a state where then I can do the things I want to do and grow and work and learn and build and put myself in that this I don't know, if my mind is a house, doing this will clean the windows and let me see out and make a plan of I don't know where am I going with that. I'm trying to just think of a metaphor or a simile off the top of my head, and I'm not doing that great, but I think there's a decent chance you might get the gist, and if you don't, I'll try to. It just it's like if my mind was a car, and it it just needed some repairs, and it couldn't run right now. But then, so quitting all the porn and all the sex, that fixed the car. But now okay, the car can run now, and now I need to actually go somewhere useful with it. Go somewhere exciting. Go somewhere, do something with it. And that there's more to this, right? But so I'm not thinking if I just do this, my life will be fixed and it'll all be easy. If I just focus on not, PMO and all that. And no, I'm under no delusion that that's the case. But, there's things I want to do. I want to write music. I want to make money. I want to talk to people. I want to help people. I want to fall in love. Yeah, I want to do a lot of stuff, but so, I feel pretty unstoppable right now. I feel just, like when I see like thumbnails and videos and pictures or whatever, like on YouTube, and run across like a scantily clad woman, and like I'm just like, we're not. I'm not doing I'm not even entertaining it. I'm not even, lingering my eyes and looking at it and lustfully and clicking further. Like if it's a what would you call it, a thirst trap or whatever, like sort of thumbnail for like say a YouTube short. It's like, and there's so many, right? If you use YouTube much, you probably seen, like, they're always trying to get us with, some sexual whatever. The like I know that, like, clicking on that stuff and then watching it intentionally and like keep on going, just like I just want to watch a little more, sure, can go for days, weeks doing that, but it builds up. It's like, I've used this analogy in the past, and I don't think most people liked it, but I don't really care because I think it's true, and I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways to state it, but I thought of my mind as something that had multiple walls up that were, like, if all the walls are up, then boom, and these are good walls, to keep the demons out, as I am using in this example. Basically, the demons being like the lust and stuff in this example. And I'm not really religious or anything. It just, that sort of thing like makes sense to me, and like it's easy to picture, demons. We've seen it in TV shows and movies and all that, but basically, if you start peeking at stuff, if you start lingering your eyes on the sexual stuff, you start thinking about, even if you're not looking at anything, but you're just imagining more and more sexual stuff, if you don't cut it off, you're basically letting like the demons break down the first wall, get to the second wall, and it's easier for them to break down the second wall, and then they get to the third wall, and it's easier to break that. I don't know how many walls there are, maybe 5 or 10, or maybe just 2 or 3, but just never let them pass the first wall. And I'm just like, like I'm sticking to it, like as long as I can intentionally remember. Like it's one of my biggest worries. The 2 biggest worries for this challenge is that I run into some like absolutely beautiful woman that we just, and she wants to have sex. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult to not have sex. So that's honestly my number one, tied number one with just kind of like forgetting for a moment, typing in some porn thing, forgetting that I'm on this challenge and doing it, and then failing because I forgot. So, it's the intentional thing that I'm, I don't think I'm going to forget and just do it. Like, I mean, I remember, like, sometimes have sexual dreams, right? And you probably had them too. And then I remember, like, waking up and like pretty much without any thoughts, just like immediately going on my phone and like watching some porn, because like in my dream I was like trying to watch porn and I was, super horny, and then it just immediately just tried to fulfill that urge like upon waking up. So I'm a little bit afraid that I do that accidentally, sort of, but I think that's somewhat unrealistic, and I think that first thing is probably one of the bigger concerns. Now, I should maybe I should be more concerned just about failing, just watching porn and just being so urged and doing it intentionally, because I'm just, so dopamine low and whatever, so addicted. My neuroplasticity is so screwed that even me giving up every single thing I own is could be not enough to stop me from doing this habit. So doing this addiction, this crappy stuff. Anyway, so any other notes on this? I pretty much rounded it out. I'm sure I'll make more videos. I'll have more energy and stuff I'm learning. I'll be venturing into new ground soon. Haven't had a streak past 10 days in quite a while, I think. Over a year probably. And then after, just a month and a half, that'll be my longest streak ever. So it'll be new territory, and I'm sure I'll want to share some things. And I'm not gonna make any promises like 1 video a day or anything, but I don't know. I have an ideas of stuff. I have ideas to have a mind to make more videos. But I feel like there's 1 or 2 other things I want to say, but I don't want to just drag this on, just being like You know, trying to remember, sitting there in silence like I do in a lot of these videos, saying just hold on, fast forward 30 seconds, and I think of it. I don't know if there was anything else. So, I think it's yeah. If you I guess the last thing would be, if you have tried and failed a lot. I'm 33 years old, by the way. And I started trying to do NoFap when I was, hang on a sec, I want to get this right. Yeah, 23. So 10 years. Wow. 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, it's almost been exactly 10 years since I found NoFap on Reddit. Haven't really tried much the last couple years, but at the beginning and the middle I was trying a lot. But now I'm going to try harder than I ever had before. And at the same time, I think part of the key to winning this is like not trying so hard. And what I mean by that is like just not putting so much emphasis and weight on it, and just like kind of like forgetting about it. Like the more I can forget about sex and porn, it's like that, then the less I'm focusing on it and the less urges I'm going to have if I'm constantly like reading NoFap and, you know, doing all these different things, talking about it constantly, and it's all constantly on my mind. And then it's more difficult, I think, in a lot of ways. So I just going to be focusing on other stuff. And, you know, I'm excited to see the person I'm going to be in a year from now, and even 6 months from now, even 3 months from now. Yeah. So I'm coming to you on this video. I am someone who has not got past 45 days on NoFap. I believe it'd be called hard mode. I don't really remember all that, like what's the specifics of hard mode, but I'm pretty sure it's like just nothing, like no sex, and pretty much what I'm doing, just nothing. And so, as someone who's never made it past 45 days, I'm going to make it to 365 days. And you know, or I'm gonna give up my car, and all of my money, and so which is those two things combined are essentially everything I own, and I would have to start back at zero, at nothing, because like, and I just want to say briefly, like at first, I'm sorry to be morbid here. There's a trigger alert if you this like morbidity kind of thing. Feel free to pause. I don't know. I'm saying trigger alert. I'm just trying to be thoughtful. I don't know, just, you know, life and death. Some people could be triggering what I'm going to say, but I literally this version of this challenge, this is the less version than I initially thought of a couple days ago. I thought of coming on here and saying, if I fail, it's stupid though. I shake my head. But the thought crossed my mind, I'm just sharing this, is that this maybe partially indicates how bad I want to succeed, is that I was going to say, if I fail, I will end my life. Because I'm just so sick of my life the way it is, and I just know that this is something that it gives me a chance to clean it up and make it way better than it ever has been, and actually realize most or all of my potential. Waste of potential is painful to watch and to experience within myself. And so anyway, I don't think I could ever, I mean, no, it's possible, but like the thought of ending my life is something that I've, like, my mind has gone, like, and considered that, and then been like, there's no way I'm going to do it. Like, and then I always like to ask myself, after saying there's no way I'm doing that, and I ask myself, so what's stopping me from doing it? And then there's always reasons, you know. And anyway, maybe, yeah, everyone has reasons. And also, by the way, on that topic of suicide and stuff, all the people that like tried to commit suicide, or not, I shouldn't say all, but what I read was most or all of the people, I think it was probably all, that tried to commit suicide and failed, they all like regretted it, like when they like jumping off the thing, they thought they were gonna die, like they regretted it instantly, and that kind of thing. Anyway, suicide ain't the way. It definitely isn't the way. But using it as a constraint, essentially the ultimate constraint to succeed at this killing lust challenge. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone has ever done that or ever will, and I don't know if that's... Well, I brought it up, but I'm ending it on a, like, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. Because what I'm doing is still, is very drastic to me. I've never done anything like this, and I'm dead serious, 100% serious. I will give my car and all of my money to my parents, and I'll start at ground zero. I'll start at nothing all over again if I fail. And so this is going to teach me to be grateful for what I have, where I'm currently at. And I have some money, not a ton, but some. And I have a nice car that I am extremely grateful for. I drove beaters my whole life, but yeah. I don't want to start over. So I'm going to do every single possible thing I can to succeed here. And as this challenge goes on, I might impose new parameters onto the challenge that make it even harder. Not for the point of being hard, but for the point of improving myself. I might say, I've got to do, I'm not. It's not going to be this, but 100 push-ups every day, kind of thing. It's not that. It's just tough to find constraints and challenges. I wanted to make this challenge like, okay, unless I find a really good girl that's beautiful inside and out, and that we really fall in love, and then if my friends and family all meet her and they say she is a really good girl, a really good person, she could be your wife, and if they all approve, then okay, I could have sex. But I don't know how to quantify that exactly. Like I just said it, right? And it kind of is quantifiable. Like, if all those conditions are met, okay, I could have sex during this 365 days. But it just doesn't seem right to me. It seems like the semen retention. I want the benefits of pushing past what I believe most men ever do. I don't think most men go a year, even a month, without any sort of ejaculations, and of course, the wet dream, by the way, wet dreams don't count, but intentionally in my dreams, as soon as I am conscious of, if I become lucid, if I become, what is that called? Lucid? Yeah, I believe, realizing I'm dreaming, sort of thing, and even if I'm not, if I can remember to just not do anything sexual in the dreams, but I'm accepting that in my dreams, I'm not exactly in the most control, usually. And so, if something sexual happens in the dream, so be it. And if I have a wet dream, so be it. We're moving past that. I'm hoping to have none. And actually, I think there is some science studying to how you can reduce wet dreams and maybe eliminate them. Perhaps. I might look into that more, but I'm not super concerned with that at the moment. I've only had like a few in my entire life. But, all right, enough of all this. Yeah, either I succeed and I go 1 year of no porn, and full semen retention, or I fail and I give up everything, monetarily, material-wise. I'll still have my human self. Okay. Not the best at goodbyes and endings anyway. But I do appreciate you for listening, and anything you wanted to share in the comments, I appreciate that. Appreciate that too, and that's okay if you don't want to. And any thoughts you have on it, positive or negative, go ahead and share. If you think this is the stupidest thing, I'm sure some people will be like, this guy's stupid. Whatever. To me, this is one of the best ideas I've had in a long time. And I've mulled it over for about 2 days now, so I've slept on it 2 different nights. So I thought it was a great idea when I came up with it, and I still do. And so it might seem a little crazy to some people who don't have the addiction as bad as I do or have it at all or something, but I think some of you will get it. If maybe most, maybe all. I don't know. Anyway, all right. On that note, there's no good profound way to end the video. All right. The longer I talk, the worse it is.